Girbeagly!
Hey there guys and gals, it's Girbeagly with another episode of Gaming with Girbeagly, and I'm once again playing the game Katawa Shoujo. Now last episode we went to the festival and we spent some time with Emmy and Rin. We got to see Rin's mural, which was really cool. We also ate lunch with them, a healthy lunch, after Emmy made us throw out our nice delicious greasy food, but then Hisao ended up stealing some cake anyway. Well, he didn't steal it, but he snuck off to get some cake while Emmy wasn't watching and ate it guiltily, but it was like his last meal before he went for these morning runs. There was also a really awesome, cute, just amazingly animated anime cutscene in between the acts. Apparently we're in Act 2 now, and we're in the middle of not knowing how to stretch for our run. So anyway, let's continue. I see. Is that the sort of thing I should strive for?
Of course! Flexibility is important for any runner. You'll be able to go faster the more you stretch out.
That makes no sense to me, but Emmy seems to believe it's true. With Emmy's help, I managed to stretch myself out properly. I can't help but notice that when she thinks about how to explain things to me, her mouth scrunches up in concentration. It's adorable. Oh, that is adorable.
Not bad, Hisao. Come on, we better start running. We'll start off with just a mile, okay? That's 4 laps around the track, got it?
That sounds fine to me. This shouldn't be too hard, right? Oh, if only you knew, Hisao. I used to run track in high school, and, like, it's so crazy how you start off running and you're just like, oh, it's only like 4 more laps, or it's only 8 more laps or something. That doesn't sound like a lot, because you do the first couple so quickly and you do it with like so little effort because your body's like primed and full of energy. And then like by lap 4 or 5 maybe, you'll be like, oh wow, okay, I kind of feel it a lot. I wasn't much of a distance runner, I was a sprinter. But anyway, a hazy memory of running a mile for gym class surfaces in my mind. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. He's gonna like die. Emmy sets a pretty good pace and I fall in behind her.
Try to keep up, okay, Hisao?
Roger. Hey, her name's not Roger, it's Emmy. We round the first curve without incident, though I can already feel my heart rate increasing slightly. By the second curve, I've started to breathe through my mouth. Emmy doesn't even seem to be breaking a sweat. As if to punctuate her superiority, she turns around and starts running backwards.
Are you doing okay, Hisao?
Never better.
Oh, really? Maybe I should speed up then.
No. I wouldn't want you to overexert yourself. My heavy panting and wheezing makes this statement less convincing than I had hoped. Emmy simply smiles and turns around again.
You're the boss, Hisao. We'll stay at this pace.
Aw, how cute that she's like working with them. She's not like showing off too much. Like obviously she has a competitive streak in her, but nothing like Shizune's, so she's more like accommodating. I get the feeling that I'm being mocked. If I weren't in such terrible shape, I'd probably feel offended. By the third lap, my breath is coming in ragged gasps. I'm also awash in my own sweat. Gross. We round the curve to start our 4th lap, and Emmy looks back at me with a grin.
Here we go.
She takes off at blinding speed while I stubbornly stick to my slower pace. By the time I get to the first turn, she's already rounding the second. As I struggle across the backstretch, Emmy continues running and catches up to me.
Come on, Hisao, you can do it.
I'd answer her, but I'm too focused on getting air into my lungs and ignoring the burning in my leg muscles. Part of me wants to say something like, maybe you can, but I'm about to die here. But again, I doubt I can actually form words right now. Emmy keeps pace with me as I round the second turn and cross the finish line. Her sprint seems to have gotten her sweating. It's actually caused her shirt to turn slightly translucent. It seems she wears a black sports bra. Oh, I feel a vague stab of guilt for being the sort of guy who stares at girls' chest, but my legs and chest are burning so badly, I can't bring myself to care that much. Oh, Hisao, you're just giving in to your natural feelings.
Not bad for a first effort, Hisao.
Kind of you to say so. Emmy seems to be, if not out of breath, at least breathing a little more heavily than she was before we started running. It must have been the sprint that did it.
Hey, I've got to get a few sprints in. You should walk around the track to cool down. Then we can stretch out and we'll be all done, okay?
Sounds great. My legs are on fire and my breathing is still heavy, but surprisingly my heart seems to be taking the strain well. Another triumph of medical science, I suppose.
You should put your hands behind your head. It makes it easier to catch your breath.
And actually, it's not because your hands are behind your head, it's because your arms are raised up a little bit. It's that's the science behind it. There's the science part of my channel. You know, the video games science booze thing, whatever. Surprisingly, she's right. I begin to stroll around the track, happy to feel my breath coming back to me. Whoa! There's a blur as Emmy sprints by me. That was like a nice jump scare. Watching her run is absolutely fascinating. It's not just because she's on prosthetics, though, that is interesting. The really interesting thing is the way her face changes. I can only catch glimpses of it as she runs by, but her eyes seem to come alive with a sort of fierce joy. It's as if there's nothing else in the world but her and the track. By the time I've gotten to the final stretch, Emmy seems to have finished her sprinting. She's breathing heavily now, but she's wearing a satisfied grin on her face. She waves to me cheerily as I near her.
Feeling better, right?
Actually, yeah.
Do you want to take another lap around me? I've got to cool down too, you know.
Part of me would rather sit down and not move, but something tells me that would be a bad idea. Yeah, actually that causes your blood to pool, and Hisao, with your heart condition, man, that'd be a bad idea. Besides, if I sit down, there might be no getting back up again. Sure, why not? Emmy's got her hands behind her head now as well, which makes her seem very relaxed. The positioning of her arms also pulls her shirt upwards, ever so slightly, so that I can see a small strip of her belly. I do my best to act the gentleman and not look, but the contrast of her skin against her red running shorts is rather arresting. Ooh, so how do you
feel, Hisao?
Surprisingly good, actually. I'm sore and tired, but surprisingly good. As soon as I say it, I realize that it's true. Sure, part of me wants to lay down and die, but I feel like I've accomplished something. It's almost like a glow throughout my body that persists despite the soreness. It's called endorphins, man. You got the rush.
Yeah, that's the runner's high.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Runner's high?
Yeah, it's something to do with adrenaline.
Emmy thinks for a moment as we walk, trying to remember. It's funny that she doesn't know anything behind the science. Not to sound like... I'm sorry if I'm like sounding pretentious or anything like that. That's not the point. Like, I'm actually just trying to share fun facts that I know. But it's funny that she doesn't know anything about it. She just sort of does it. Which is great that she's just passionate about it. Then she shrugs and grins at me.
I don't actually remember. It's a good feeling, though, isn't it? Better than sex, right?
Whoa! I opened my mouth to respond shortly before processing what she just said. Oh ho! Emmy watches my face for a few minutes before bursting into laughter.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. You're just too easy.
Why did I agree to run with you again? Emmy just laughs harder. She takes a hold of my forearm and tilts it, allowing her to get a better view of my watch. Her face changes the moment she sees the time.
Oh no! We better get a move on, Hisao. Class is in an hour and I need to shower.
I should probably do that as well.
I need to see the nurse too. Maybe he'll write me a note for being late.
Why do you need to see the nurse? Emmy points to her prosthetics as if that would explain everything.
It's important to check for irritation. You know, from sweat or friction or anything.
I didn't know that was something they had to deal with. That's terrible. That really sucks. But it's good that she's getting checked up regularly.
Normally I only go after practice, but if we're going to be doing these morning runs, then I guess I'll see him twice a day.
Wait, so Emmy has only started doing these runs since I showed up? If it's more convenient for you to run with me at a later time...
Don't be silly. I've been meaning to start running in the morning for a while now. But if I didn't have a partner to run with, I'd be less likely to keep up a routine. It's always harder to blow off a commitment if you're going to let someone else down, you know? So, you'll be my running partner for the mornings. We both need the exercise so it all works out, don't you think?
Yeah, perfect. Did it have to be me, though? Well, I guess I can't complain too much. Emmy's pretty fun to hang out with. Not to mention you get to stare at her chest, Hisao, you pervert. and she's right. I do need the exercise. Doctor's orders, even. Emmy waves a quick goodbye to me.
Right, I'm off. Come have lunch with us, okay?
What?
Lunch, you know, the meal in the middle of the day. Come have it with us.
Where?
The rooftop. Rin likes it up there.
Excuse me, guys, I got the burpees as usual. You guys are giving me the burpees in the middle of reading. When?
Lunchtime, when else? That was a silly question.
Yeah, but I sort of felt the need to ask all three for completeness' sake. Emmy laughs and grins. I don't think I've ever seen a girl smile so much before. Aw, how cute.
Not bad, Hisao. See ya.
With that, she takes off like a shot for the school building. I guess she's going to see the nurse first. I hurry back to my room and hop in the shower, only to find that the water takes a while to heat up. The shock of the cold water nearly kills me. Oh man, is Kenji going to be in here again? I managed to warm the water a bit and spend some quality time feeling my muscles loosen. My heart surprisingly feels the least bothered by the run. I suppose that's a good thing, even if it does make me feel like a bit of a wuss. I mean, at least I'd have an excuse beyond I'm out of shape if my heart were bothering me. Guess I'll have to keep this running thing up, otherwise I'm sure Emmy won't let me hear the end of it. It's only after I get out and dry myself off that I realize that I've only got 10 minutes left to put my clothes on and get to class. Crap! Uh-oh. The hands on the clock finally set me free from the tedium of yet another fun-filled class. Okay, so he did make it on time. Good job, Hisao. Getting up from my seat proves to be more of a problem than I anticipated. My legs are killing me from the morning's run. Maybe doing these with Emmy isn't such a hot idea after all. Still, the run's given me a hell of an appetite. I'm halfway down the hallway to the cafeteria when I remember that I've got my lunch with me. My parents saw fit to provide me with some prepackaged stuff when I moved in, and a good thing too. Uh-oh, Emmy's not going to like the prepackaged stuff. It's going to be unhealthy. The hallway's packed with students headed for the cafeteria. Going back is like swimming upstream, but I've got an appointment to keep on the rooftop. It takes me a moment to find the staircase leading up to the rooftop, but I'm willing to bet that Emmy and Rin aren't up there by now anyway, or are up there by now anyway. In fact, I think I saw Emmy among the bodies in the hallway headed for the cafeteria. I step out of the door to the roof and take a deep breath. The fresh air blowing against my face and body almost makes my legs hurt less.
Maybe if I'm upside down.
Part of me wants to be surprised that Rin's already up here. What's that going to accomplish?
Things in the clouds?
Couldn't you just look at them right side up? Rin rolls her eyes in somewhat approaching exasperation.
Then I wouldn't get a new perspective.
Is upside down really a new perspective? Aha! That caught her off guard. Rin looks pensive.
You may have a point. Maybe sideways?
As Rin lays down on the bench to look at the sky, I give up. Fortunately, Emmy chooses that moment to burst through the door carrying 2 bags. She nearly takes the door off the hinges.
Sorry it took me so long. There were a ton of people in line.
She drops the first bag in front of Rin and takes a seat on the bench next to her. You buy Rin's lunch for her?
Sometimes, yeah. I'd have Rin buy my lunch for me in return, but I'm not sure how she'd carry it. Plus, I'd never buy her lunch.
If Rin's offended by Emmy's comment, she doesn't show it. Emmy sniffs.
How ungrateful of you.
I'm not sure whether the two are joking with one another or if I'm witnessing the beginning of a cat fight. The 2 girls stare at one another for a few tense moments before breaking into smiles. I had a feeling that they were joking. They seem like an awesome pair. I really like them a lot.
Hey, Emmy, do you think being upside down is a new perspective on things?
Didn't I already have this conversation? Emmy looks thoughtful, apparently giving the question some thought. After a deep and profound pause, she speaks.
I have no idea.
Well, at least she's as lost as I am.
Hey, Hisao, you're coming to the track meet, right?
The question comes out of the blue and catches me off guard. I don't know yet.
Honestly, Hisao, after I went through all the trouble of letting you run with me in the morning, you won't even show up at my track meet?
Wasn't she the one that asked me to run with her? Actually, she didn't even give me a choice in the matter. Wait, no, I didn't say that. She beams at me as if I just agreed to give her $1 million.
So you will come after all. That's great.
I love that they're both like Rin and Emmy are both so jokey. Like they poke at Hisao all the time, and that just makes it hilarious because he's very I wouldn't say he's gullible or naive, but he's very open to that sort of thing. He's a little bit sensitive, which makes him perfect for a protagonist because he does want to be, you want your protagonist to be empathetic and stuff. I didn't say that either.
I'll be going too, so I'll make sure he comes, Emmy. Good idea, Rin. Maybe we can get some food or something after the meet's over.
I feel like I've just been conned, but not by these two. More like by some outside force pushing me irrevocably towards my destiny. Oh my god, I can't read words. I'm sorry. I'm bad at reading. Or maybe I shouldn't read books that feature conspiracy theories so heavily. Otherwise, I might wind up sounding like Kenji. Heaven forbid. Still, I suppose I've got to show up now. I don't think that I could stand against both of them being disappointed. I'd never hear the end of it. When is it again?
Next week, silly. I just told you a few days ago.
No, you didn't.
I forgot? Well, you won't forget to come, though, will you?
Of course I won't. I'll even make a note on a calendar or something. Rin nods sagely.
That's probably a good idea, unless time changes its course. I can do that?
Rin gives a non-committal shrug.
It hasn't yet, but you never know.
This time, it's Emmy who gives a shrug.
I suppose it can't be helped if it happens.
Not unless you're a time traveler or something. You don't actually think that could happen, do you?
I don't think we do we?
Rin shrugs again. That seems to be your default response to everything. I suppose not, but I reserve the right to change my opinion at a moment's notice. For Rin, this statement makes a disturbing amount of sense. The fact that I realize this now frightens me a bit. I wonder if Emmy gets this feeling all the time. If she does, she's not showing it, though. Emmy nearly nods. Nearly mods is what I was about to say. Holy crap.
As expected.
What's that supposed to mean? This time it's Emmy who shrugs. It's like she's using Rin's own weapons against her.
Your response is the sort of thing I'd expect from you, that's all.
Am I really that predictable? Emmy's smile seems to border on gloating.
Nah, it's just that your unpredictability is pretty predictable.
Well, that's alright then. That's very true. Her unpredictability is almost always predictable, like that she's going to say something random. I don't get the chance to see whether Rin's being serious or not as the bell rings. I didn't notice the lunch period slipping by at all. Hanging out with these two was far too interesting. Emmy jumps up, a look of panic on her face.
Oh no, I need to stop by my room to pick up my notebook for the next class.
Don't you wish you had a time machine now? Rin seems rather smug as she delivers this line, like she just won an argument. Emmy ignores Rin's comment.
Sorry, Hisao, but could you make sure our garbage gets thrown away? I usually clean up myself, but I gotta run.
Sure, no problem. Emmy darts away with an urgency I'm starting to expect from her. I don't bother asking Rin why she couldn't help. She already seems to be pretty preoccupied with something else entirely as she wanders off. She's probably used to Emmy taking care of cleanup, and for some reason, I doubt Emmy's ever raised the issue with her. Cleaning up from lunch doesn't take long, so I have plenty of time to toss her garbage and get to class. Misha greets me with a wave and a devious grin as I walk through the door. Uh-oh.
Didn't see you at the cafeteria, Hee-chan.
Yeah, I decided it was too crowded there. Misha's grin gets even wider.
Oh, really? Are you sure you weren't participating in an illicit rendezvous?
What are you talking about?
You were on the roof, right? With both Rin and Emmy, no less. You Casanova, you.
We just had lunch, that's all. Misha bursts into laughter, drawing the attention of several of my classmates.
Wow, you're so adorable when you blush like that, Hee-chan.
She gives me a conspiratorial wink.
Don't worry, your secret's safe with me.
There's no secret.
Oh?
Misha seems disappointed and then brightens up again.
Time will tell.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but blessedly our teacher comes in and the class starts. Everyone teases Hisao. It's hilarious. I love it. Another day of class has finally dragged itself to a close. Unexpectedly, I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I'm pretty sure that counts as a miracle. My legs seem unwilling to stand up for a moment. I guess the run took a lot out of me. That picture. I head down the hallway and make my way to my room. I sit down and half-heartedly chip away at my homework for a while, feeling like a vulture picking at a particularly unsavory carcass. It knows this is what it eats, but it's not sure that it shouldn't be ordering takeout instead. Holy crap, I'm sorry guys, my reading comprehension has gone super downhill as this episode's gone on. I don't think I can take this, but it's important to get my work done. Now let's see, what was I supposed to be looking over again? I know it's a losing battle, but I fight it anyway. Halfway through my math homework, I put my pencil down. This isn't working. I need a distraction. Unfortunately, my options for distractions are rather slim. I'm not in the mood to read right now. Kenji is unusually out of his room at the moment. If I go to the student council room, I'll just end up doing work for those two, and heaven only knows where everyone else is, except for, well, I suppose that's an option. Probably Hanako. Going to the library, right? I grab my shoes and head for the track. Oh, or to Emmy. Wow, cool. I guess it makes sense if we're on Emmy's route. Emmy's probably down there. Track practice is just ending as I arrive at the track. The sun's beginning to dip low in the sky. Has it really gotten that late already?
What are you doing down here, Hisao?
and we'll see what Emmy's reaction is to us being here in the next episode, guys. I'm going to leave it here at this cliffhanger. If you guys enjoyed this episode, though, please be sure to hit the like button, share the video, and favorite it. Also, be sure to subscribe to me if you guys haven't already. For those of you who have, thank you so much for all of your support. You guys are the best in the world. I love every single one of you, and as always, it was great seeing ya. Bye-bye. Oh god, that was so goddamn close. Holy crap, this game gets crazy so quick. Very, very intense stuff. Wave 6 though, holy crap, look at that score. If you guys can do better than me, then please let me know down in the comments below. Piss. Oh my pissing butts.